Hi, my name's Vicky. I'm here on behalf of County Saddlery to show you the correct way to size and fit a horse blanket. It's really simple to get the correct measurement. You just need a tape measure that's in inches. You need an extra pair of hands for somebody to hold the front of the tape measure at the correct spot, and you simply measure the horse. We're going to show you how to do that. Okay, so we're going to take the tape measure and we're going to place it right in the center of the chest, roughly just in the middle of the shoulders, just for the height. But you're going to make sure that somebody's holding that right in the middle so you can take the accurate measurement. Somebody's holding the front for us. We're going to take the tape measure and we're going to walk it in a straight line and we're going to take it all the way back to the rump of the horse. And as you can see, just before the tail, we're actually measuring a 76 on this horse. Okay, I'm just going to show you a couple of examples of a blanket that is actually too big. It can be too big in the length, or it could be just too big in the neck. This is how you'll see it's too big in the neck. One, you'll have extra movement. You could probably get 10 people's hands in there. But the most important thing when you're fitting a blanket and knowing it's too big is that it's actually going to pull back. For all the spare space you have in the front of the neck, it's actually going to eventually keep pulling back further and further, and usually drops around the shoulders as well. This is going to cause serious problems. This is going to cause rubbing on the chest, and it's also going to cause severe rubbing on the withers. Okay, we're going to move on to the rear of a blanket that is too large. The first and most obvious thing you're going to see is the blanket's going to hang way over the end of the horse. Usually when it's too big, you can usually grab the blanket, pull it, and usually close it together. This is a good sign that the neck is way too big on the horse. Just to show you the opposite, if you had a blanket that was actually too small, you're going to notice one or two things. First of all, you're going to know you're not going to be able to put any finger pressure under the withers. That's going to pull immediately. Another thing with a blanket too small, you're going to actually find that it starts to pull and it starts to gape at the chest. Inevitably, what that's going to do, it's going to dig in again at the front. So having a blanket too big is probably as bad as having a blanket too small. You will find when fitting two different types of blankets, a scrim sheet and a cooler should fit as snug as possible without being tight. When you're turning out and using a turnout blanket, you do need a little bit of extra room because they are more likely to be running around, which is going to need the extra space in the shoulders. As you noticed earlier, we measured Clark with the tape measure and he came out at a size 76. This is a size 76 that will be sized exactly the same way as the new County blankets. It is a true fit for this horse. You'll notice that the neck is great. There's no excess movement on the neck. It's not too tight at the top and it's not too tight in the chest. I can get a hand in there easily. And I'm also going to show you that we have cut all the blankets so they are a little bit more forward on the withers to prevent any pulling back on these blankets. This particular style does have what's known technically as a shoulder gusset. Some people call it a kick pleat. It's put in there for a reason to give more freedom of movement at the front of the horse. So you generally find them more in a turnout blanket or a stable blanket. Depending on the cut of the blanket, it is not always necessary. Our new turnout blanket will not have a kick pleat, but will prevent any rubbing caused at the front of the shoulder simply from its cut. Brief overview of the sizing for you. I hope it makes it a little bit more simple. You will find that we are going to do an individual video link for you for each of the products that County are bringing out. It's actually going to put on there the features and the benefits of every product that we do for you. You will find there's some very, very interesting things on these, such as the fabrics we're using and why we're using them. So I hope that's a benefit to you.